What should we do if a parent requests that we refer to their child by the pronouns associated with their sex?
No, respectfully, no. There wasn't much they could do.
No, that's sorry. Like the student determines that, not you.
This is our policy, and I'm going to follow the policy.
We'll convert your children. Someone's gotta teach them not to hate. We're coming for them. We're coming.
It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are gay.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I actually beat Libs of TikTok to one here, I think. I suppose maybe they posted it in the past, but here we have yet another recorded Zoom call of teachers in 1st through 5th grade, elementary, bragging about ignoring parents' requests, direct requests, to call their kids by their name and their given pronouns. And this virtual panel is absolutely like the perfect example. You know, I keep saying the overwhelming majority of teachers are good, and there are many good teachers. There are bad teachers who the union protects, and then there's these kind of teachers who, again, think that they rule the child while they're in their classroom, that they have some sort of their rights supersede that of the child's birth parents. In fact, these weirdos don't even call them their parents; they call them caregivers. And you know, it's curious to me that like these idiots keep getting caught. Like they keep recording this stuff. It's because they think that there's just no consequences, because really there haven't been until recently. This by the Daily Mail. School staffers bragged about outright ignoring parents' requests to refer to children by their given names and pronouns late last month during a virtual panel that saw speakers refer to parents as caregivers. The virtual Creating and Sustaining GSAs in Elementary Schools meeting, in elementary, that's I think that's like an LGBT club, held over Zoom on April 26th, saw moderator Katie Butler, a 2nd grade public school teacher at Harvey Milk Civil Rights Academy in San Francisco, not surprised, pose a question to her fellow panelists concerning pronoun use when it comes to the students. The inquiry sent to the group by another unnamed educator asked advice on how to deal with parents mad over teachers' pronoun use. Quote, what should we do as parents if a parent requests that refer to their child by their pronouns associated with their gender assigned at birth? No, just their gender instead of preferred pronouns, and that we use legal name instead of a student's chosen name. Butler, who panel organizers billed as white queer cisgender female teacher on the social media, read. Butler, the creator of Gender Inclusive Classrooms, the group that organized the panel, then gave way to the 3 other panelist staffers at public school across the panel to weigh in on the matter. One panelist, fellow co-creator Kieran Slattery, 5th grade teacher in Massachusetts, proceeded to provide his advice on the matter, proudly revealing instances where he ignores parents' requests. So I put the video to kind of where it is, because I think I want you to hear it in their own words, just how they talk about these kids like they're their own.
I hear that you're using different ones at home, using the child's preferred name and pronouns, and I hear that you're saying I tried to really like affirm what the caregiver was asking, respond.
So here he's talking about an instance where he basically told parents, nah, it's my classroom, so I'm going to do whatever I want.
I chose my words carefully, and I said, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I tried to really like affirm what the caregiver was asking me. Like in terms of, I was like, I hear you saying that you're feeling uncomfortable with me, using the child's preferred name and pronouns. And I hear that you're using different ones at home. Here at school, the expectation is that all of my students feel comfortable and welcome in my classroom. So in my classroom, I will refer to your child by whatever name and pronouns that they've told me they feel most comfortable with. And just have that be it. Almost like the guidelines that I try to use when I'm like explaining hard topics to my students, like less is more.
So imagine your kid's elementary school teacher saying that to you, saying, actually, I hear that you, the parent, using your child's actual name and pronouns, that works for you at home. But here, when they're in school, a school funded by your tax dollars, I'm going to call them whatever they want. And I'm going to tell them that mom and dad are wrong. Because that's essentially what's happening here, right? That's how it starts. Mom and dad don't really know, but me, your teacher, you can come to me, young one. You can come to me and talk about those tough subjects because I'm here for you. They actually refer to the child's name using the name that they asked to be referred to and their chosen pronouns, and caregivers reacted very strongly. The teacher then detailed the parents followed up with me and the principal and said, like, I know you're using a different name than my child's given name at birth and the pronouns we gave them, and I'm respectfully asking you to use the name and the pronouns that we gave them. To which that person basically said, laws are different in every state. Obviously, I can't speak to the law in everyone's particular state, but I just told the parents tough is essentially, that's essentially what it was. I mean, no, you don't have that right, and like the assertion saw educator put particular emphasis on the word my. So in my classroom, I will refer to your child by whatever name and pronouns that they've told me they're most comfortable with, he said, with his fellow panelists nodding in approval. The teacher went on to equate conveying that concept to parents to teaching children in the classroom. That just has to be it, almost like the guidance I try to use when I'm explaining topics to my students. The other panelists again nodded in approval. He continued, I just say like, that sounds like it really works well for you at home, and you can absolutely choose to do whatever you like at home. In my classroom, I do what I want. The teacher then reiterated how he denied parents' requests. I just told them no. Maybe not that's not helpful, but I just tell them no, seemingly conceding the contentious nature of his assertion. Respectfully, no. The assertion again garnered more impassioned nods from other panelists. And because I had my principal and superintendent support, there wasn't much they can do. And they eventually kind of like found another topic to squawk about, he added, before letting out a laugh. And they left that one alone. The remaining panelists all seemed to agree with the educator's assertion, that Butler in particular nodding affirmatively throughout the contemporary's spiel. Another panelist, a fifth grade teacher, Daniel Alonzo, echoed Slattery's sentiments, describing a similar incident between him and a parent at Chavez Elementary in Yonkers, New York. Similarly to what Kieran said, Alonzo, in my school district, LGBTQ plus students have a Bill of Rights. Oh, interesting. So the regular Bill of Rights they don't want, or they want more rights than everyone else. That's interesting. And so similarly, they're in a situation where a parent felt like the school was not doing what we wanted them to do. And I don't even know if we're respectful about it. We were just like, no, sorry. Like, our district-wide rule is that school determines that, not you, he said, while offering a smug smile. Alonzo, who organizers described as an advocate for all, lover of puppies, and redeemer of all things Mariah, added, even though you are the parents. One final panelist, Maryland school counselor Heather Igg, seemed in agreement with others. Ours is the same, and again, it really speaks to where you're working, where the district is, state laws. A clip of this exchange shared by Twitter journalist Colin Wright Tuesday quickly went viral, gaining more than 1,000 likes and hundreds of reshares. Observers shared their outrage over the panelists' assertions, calling them criminal and a gross overstep of public school staffers' authority. I would agree with that. Lawsuits, one user wrote in all capital letters. This is a violation of the human and constitutional rights of the parents. Another user responded to Slider's assertion that there is nothing parents could do when confronted with parents concerned over how teachers address their children. They could pull their kid out of your class. They could demand another teacher. That's what they could do, an observer wrote. Well, for me, I'd be a little more worried about being so overly confident about not doing what you want with some mom's kid. Because maybe that mom will be waiting in the parking lot. Maybe that dad will be waiting outside school for you. Because that's the kind of response. Now, obviously, I wouldn't advocate for that. But when you start messing around with people's kids, like, that's the kind of response you're going to get. And I'm not going to be surprised if that happens to one of these lunatics. Like, I'm sorry, I'm the parent in this particular hypothetical. I ask you to refer to my kid, their biological gender, biological, what they are biologically, and their actual name. No, you will not call my child whatever he wants to be called or she wants to be called that day. This is their name. And the fact that this clown feels so brazen to just say no, I mean, all 4 of these people should be fired. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but also understand caregiver is a word they're using to minimize parents, I believe. Yes, kids have caregivers, but no, they're trying to say, well, you're just a caregiver. It's a slow erosion of what words actually mean. These lunatics, I mean, like, our school districts, public school districts, need to get rid of all of this constantly. Like, we need to keep shining a light on it, keep sharing it out there, because these people don't have that right as teachers. They have the right to teach, when you're in 3rd grade, how to write, how to spell, math. But no, you don't get to confuse students and then form this weird relationship with them where you're the only one that gets them. Because, in my opinion, that's what drives a lot of this. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.